what's it called, from messy PDFs to HTML pages to like nonsense stuffs. That's what you are putting there. So at the end of the day, for now, when you are writing your code to actually fetch from those data, you need to write complex code that does what, that fine-tunes the data that is coming back and extracts the good ones from your data. So that level of writing complex code, that's a technical debt that you will need to actually pay for later in the future. So when you are treating your RAG, in short, like a vectorized dumpster, then definitely that's a technical debt for the future. So the advice, add good data to your vectors. Thank you.
Thank you. So, is like me? I don't understand your technical jargons, right? But what I can deduce is if you pull rubbish, you see rubbish.
Yes.
In local parlance, weary. Yes. If you pull weary, you see weary. Thank you. So, Dr. Sekinat, what should founders understand about quality before fine-tuning?
About data?
Yes, about data quality before fine-tuning.
Okay. You know, we all know that everything about AI starts and ends with data. And I believe that your model, your AI model, or your AI product is as smart as data you used to build it. So data is about representation, is about you, is about what you want to put out to the world. So if your data is not smart, or you didn't curate a quality data, then your model is not going to build anything useful or tangible. And to cap it all, your data should also be contextualized, because when your data is smart, you build a smart model. But when it is smart and also contextualized, I think that you are building intelligence. So that means that you are speaking to somebody. So if I build AI model that is contextualized for Nigerians, then that means that Nigerians understand what my model is talking about, and the results, I can interpret it and they can speak to me, then I think it can work perfectly for me. So data quality is very, very important. Smartness, contextualization is the key thing. Remember that your data represents your products.
Thank you for that. So to Michael, what's the biggest lesson deploying a large language model for real users?
All right, so anything you get to build, whatever it is, the user determines whether it's useful or not. The user determines whether they're going to make money or not. So like whatever we're building still falls on the user. So the biggest challenge building LLMs is on the user side, every user cares about whether what they're getting is accurate or not, whether what they're getting applies to them or not. If you ask ChatGPT a question and the answer is given you is not what you want, you begin to lose trust over time. Whatever product you're using and it's not performing as it should, you lose trust in it over time and you go for another alternative. So the quality of responses that you get from LLM is very important. So that is important whenever we're building anything that pertains to LLM, either as a founder that I am or as an AI engineer. The other thing I would talk about is how fast your LLM is able to process or respond to user's questions. So after you have dealt with the accuracy of responses, speed also comes in. So that's the hierarchy from accuracy of responses, from she mentioned context. So context on all of those things to speed. After you have solved speed, one of the limitations that comes in is when you have built what you want to build. Because some of the times we are using OpenAI models, we are using growth models, you are using them as your internal infrastructure or the models for which your chatbot or your agent is built on, right? So if they are not fast enough, right, and there are a lot of things that contribute to response time or to latency as you may have it, right? How robust your code is, whether your code is lean or not, a lot of things, but latency, response time, which attributes to speed, and the quality of responses are like a major limitation when it comes to using LLMs or building with LLMs.
Thank you. Gabriel.
Yeah.
Sorry, that question is not for you.
Okay.
Victor, please. Where do agents help and where do they complicate things?
Well, it depends on the AI agent actually. So we know that for context, agents simply makes life convenient, right? Industry-wise, personal-wise, you can build an AI agent to pretty much handle your Gmail messages, right? Help you to create response on autopilot. Who knows of ManyChat? You know ManyChat? ManyChat has been existing even before the AI agent was a buzzword, right? And I think that's a plus for it. And where it becomes complicated again, right?
Where do they complicate things? Yes.
Okay. AI agents, they are still artificial intelligence. I don't know of this complaint that the agent itself deleted the complaint's code. Yes. And when they did internal auditing for the AI agent, it was like, it's not him, or you can look it up. So things like that. Imagine building a company and an investor has invested over $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Sir, agent has deleted the old the database. Agent of darkness. So things like that. To be honest, all of us have watched Terminator. Abi? That's another question. That's another angle.
Thank you. If you have watched Terminator, you'd understand what you just said. If you have not watched it, I don't know what you're doing on it. So the last question for this panel session it goes to Gabriel, right? What trade-off do enterprises make between speed and explainability?
Speed and
expandability.
Okay. I would answer the question coming from the angle of auditability and latency, because that's where speed comes in. So one thing I would say is that, I don't know if it's an advice, if you guys will take it as an advice, but what has worked for me is that auditability over latency any day, anytime. I'll take that again. Auditability over latency any day, anytime. So to break that down, Influx works with brands. A brand, or let's imagine I'm working with a bank with Influx. A brand or a bank would take a 5-second delay in their API call to me if at the end of the day I'm giving them good response with, and I'm citing, let's say, I'm citing some policy data that, okay, fine, this data was found in this particular policy. So that they call it faithfulness checks. So when they do their faithfulness checks, they see that, okay, yes, I'm giving them real data and this data is very accurate. If I end up spending 5 seconds extra, that can still be pardoned. Then I can then work on the next stage, which is what? The speed latency, such that that's where engineering design comes in. I can decide to say, you know what, do I want to do a pop sub method or something, such that, okay, this particular type of question or this particular type of call, it comes regularly and this is the same type of data that I get, then why not just cache that layer so that you get faster responses based on the faithfulness checks that you've done, and you see that you accept that data is accurate. So I'll say it once again, auditability over latency anytime. So auditability first, that is, you are giving accurate data, then speed comes in.
Thank you.
You can always fine tune your speed.
Thank you. On the final note, before we take just 2 questions, Dr. Sekina, what's your best AI tool? Your best AI tool.
Okay. Just one, okay. Let me just say that it's my Jupyter notebook. I sleep and wake up with it every day.
Jupyter notebook?
Yes.
Thank you. I don't know, so I'll just probably check it out.
That's what I used to code.
Jupyter notebook. Thank you. Questions, please. We're taking just 2 questions. 2 questions. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for this session and amazing speakers.
Thank you so much. Okay, so someone says she wants to stretch. Can we all stand? Can we all stand? This one we are doing like this, but we've eaten small chops like 2 times. And even kebab. Come on now. Okay, I'll stand. Wave your hands to the sky. Do like this. Stretch your legs. It's not good to sit down too much because of arthritis. So yeah. Stretch your leg. Are we good? Are we okay now? Please take your seats. Okay, so we'll be going into our next game session, which is called charades. How many of us know charades? Okay, that girl is cutting eye for me there that she's perfect. But not to worry, we'll do that in a few minutes. So we'll be moving on to our next panel session. This panel session is bringing together voices from education, healthcare, business development, and policy. They'll be discussing the future with AI. So we're going to bring up our first speaker. We're sorry to disturb you, ma'am, but put your hands together as we welcome Dr. Sekinat Folorunsho on stage for the second time. Don't be tired of clapping. Put your hands together until she sits. Okay, our next speaker, who is Gabriel Oke, the co-founder and chief business development officer at Ultras Tech Luminary Center in Sierra Leone. Is he here with us? Oh, okay, he's not here. Okay, we also have Lanre Basmata, CEO, co-founder of Optimus AI Labs. Put your hands together for Mr. Lanre as he makes his way to the stage. Okay, our next speaker joining us is Jonathan Enudeme. Is he here, please? Founder and CEO of Zoomate Africa. Put your hands together for Mr. Jonathan. Great. And now we have Sharon Jua join us. Do we have Sharon here, please? Okay. She's a legal and strategy professional and a growing thought leader in the human-centered AI across Africa. Put your hands together for Sharon Jua as she comes on stage. Great. So to moderate the panel session for the third time in a row, I think this man deserves an award. Our very amazing moderator, Mr. Segun Salami. You guys, put your hands together for Mr. Segun as he comes on stage to moderate our panel session.
Good afternoon once again. Is my voice nice? Good afternoon once again. So, Mr. Lam, can you hear me? Okay, what digital skills are most in demand but least taught today?
Sorry, can you
What digital skills are most in demand but are least taught today?
least taught? Feels like a ton of them.
Give us three.
I think in the light of my own personal experiences and what I'm seeing in the industry, I think the first one is what I will call man-machine augmentation. And it sounds like big grammar, so you'll forgive me, right? I say that because I'm from a generation, and I like to think I'm young, but I'm not very young. I'm from a generation where we see tools as things to use. But in an AI-first world, tools and man are fusing together. I mean, just on Monday, we got this big information of a new lab that was raising fund. I don't know if you guys are tracking. Merge Labs, okay, on Monday. And from that alone, Merge Lab is changing completely how the brain and the computer interface is changing completely, neuroscience. And so coming to a place where this person who is looking for a job knows how to use, okay, let me break it down. 12 years ago, I was recruiting one of the most smartest guy I ever recruited. I just graduated from Covenant University, and this was 12 years ago, right? So this guy doesn't have any skills just yet. And then I asked him all the questions. He appeared very smart. He's in Canada now, married and settled. And I asked him this question: do you know anything about Abu Yazidu Bayajida? It was deliberate. Of course, I could bet my left leg that he would never know. So I asked that question. I left my boardroom. And I came back in 30 minutes, and he told me. And that was when I knew this was the guy I should recruit. So maybe the first one is the fusion of human beings and machines. I mean, somebody was talking to me last week. She's trying to get a job. And then she was asking me, please, what's the name of your company? You know my own name, but you don't know the name of my company. And so it's a mindset change. It's not a skill that somebody gives you a certificate for, but it's a mind that can fuse with machines to be able to not just find job, navigate interviews, do assessment. So maybe that's the first and the best.
Thank you.
And then, of course, the other things like AI, blah, blah, blah. But I think that fusion is maybe the most strategic.
Thank you. So, for Mr. Gabriel, what AI skills matter most in health and social?
It's not Gabriel, but you can be Gabriel for this. Just answer.
Jonathan.
Sorry, it's because I've been on panels that there were multiple Gabriels in the panel. Sorry, Jonathan. From your experience, what stops young Africans from progressing in their AI careers?
Okay, so I was introduced as the founder of Zoom It Africa, and what we've done is we've helped a lot of talent to go beyond Jupyter notebooks, writing a code that models or builds a model that can classify horse and cats. We brought them into our organizations, and they intern, and they are given a learning path that helps them to build real-world solutions. And when we have clients' problems, we also have them join a team and they build those solutions. So I think the most important thing that a lot of young ones who are really, really talented, who want to do stuff, lack is the opportunity to get into organizations where they can learn and make mistakes and be mentored and tutored. So I think they don't have that enough, and if they have that, then we can see more progress. I think that's one thing that they lack. I don't know if I answered the question well.
So from your experience now, you're saying that the available ways in which people can learn and get corrected is what's stopping them from progressing in AI.
So that is like a sure banker way to success. They can try, like myself, try different things and stumble on AI eventually. But if they have a very good guided mentorship, it's like a sure banker way to success.
Thank you. Madam Sharon, good afternoon. You look stunning, by the way.
Thank you.
What role should policy play in shaping AI education?
Why are you teasing him? Is he a lie? Don't I look good? Thank you. All right. So thank you for that question. This is rather interesting because I know last year at the Metaverse, we had a conversation like this, and there was a government parastatal there, and he mentioned that nobody really likes to hear guardrails for AI. Everybody just feels like the government wants to do busybody and spoil it, but it's very important to have limits and ceilings with what people can do while exploiting AI. So for instance, it has to come from a place of understanding what exactly is artificial intelligence. Earlier today, we were having a conversation about how AI is not scary because it's intelligent, but AI is, in fact, scary because it amplifies human inefficiencies, human inadequacies. So an example, if I, as a hiring manager, I am, what's the word? Let's say I just don't like Gen Zs. I don't want to hire a Gen Z, right? And I put that in my conditions, right, for recruitment. The most qualified Gen Z person will automatically not be shortlisted, right? That is my personal bias, which has turned into some form of discrimination, for qualified candidates. then you have to understand what are the things we can do with AI. Because when you understand this, you understand how it can be misused. It's not news that we have deep fakes. People are even now using Gemini to create fake invoices to get refunds in the US. People are using Gemini to generate fake passports. Like, so for each great thing AI can do for us, a lot of people are out there showing you that they know how, to abuse the system. And this leaves us open to a lot of problems. People will get scammed, people will get defrauded, duped, people will be impersonated. There's even a rise of AI-generated pornography, right? They will reach out to someone and say, I'm just going to use you because you're looking at me. I'll reach out to you and say, hi, I have your news. If you don't pay me $100,000, I'm going to release it to the internet. I've never met you. You've never even taken a bikini picture before. How do I have it? I have generated it with some platform that is easily accessible. So the government needs to be able to put limits or restrictions to these things so that the citizens, don't end up being on the losing end.
Thank you so much. This is for Dr. Sekinat. How should AI be taught differently in African universities?
Now, we have many boot camps and even programs like this that, spur interest in people that want to do data science. But in universities, like I do take a course on introduction to data science. So my belief is that I take them from known to unknown. Like we start with available data sets. I teach them how to model, interpret results, and do all sorts. So after, we now take context into example. Now, let's try local data sets. Let's see what local data set can do. We interpret it, and it brings you are at home with my interpretation and you are at home with my interpretation and explanation. But one thing that is also very important is the ability to do a translational problem. Like after being taught all of that, you should be able to see a problem and translate it to machine learning problem or AI problem before you can provide solutions to it. So if you look at a solution that you can't translate, then you can't provide solutions to it. So I think that that's the angle that I usually take my teaching from. And I think that so far it has been yielding something beautiful with my students.
Thank you. And I think most African professors and university lecturers should emulate this. So, Mr. Larry, how can private labs accelerate AI talents faster than traditional institutions?
I mean, I think labs like us were desperate, right? We're desperate to make money. We're desperate to add value. And I mean, the big difference between the academia and industry is that industry sees value as naira and kobo, okay? Academia sees value as breakthrough knowledge and innovation. And so for us, I was listening to the presentation earlier. I think for young purists, developers, interested persons, I think everybody's excited about a new product that captures the imagination of users, a new product that investors find exciting and they put money, a new product that is live and used by people. That's how we see value. And so maybe the best way to learn is to do and not just to hear. Maybe the best way to learn is to experience. That's why we say you can learn from travels, right? Travel, you experience it, is experiential. And so for labs like us, our desperation pushes us to try things even if they fail. So at the minimum, you will do a project even if it fails. And I think that what it does for knowledge is that it takes you beyond context, it takes you beyond mental to experiential, and there's more context. And so that allows, labs are oftentimes small. We have about a 40-man team. It's still small compared to an institution like OU that's probably dealing with 4,000, I imagine. But at the lab level, you are working on real-life projects that people are playing with. And hopefully you guys are making money.
That's the end goal. Thank you, Larry. So, clap now if you want to clap. So, Jonathan, How do you scale mentorship without losing quality?
So there has to be a path, a learning path. So I always mention it to virtually almost every intern that comes our way that I also was an intern and there was a direction. So one of my engineers right now, we're building a solution together, and he was one of my interns in 2022. And I was talking about us building a model that helps us to find a solution to one problem. And I mentioned we need to do something like a regression model to understand this and that. And I was like, oh, I remember it was in our learning path then. So those in 2022 that went through our learning path, those in 2025 that are going through our learning path, we go through similar solution. In 2022, we didn't have agentic AI in the learning path. We didn't have LLMs in the learning path. But now we've updated it. Now we have LLMs. We have agentic AI in the learning path. So as far as there's a standard, there's a structure, all we need to do is update. And no matter how many people come in, the truth is we've handled so many people, even across Africa and in Europe and India, intern with us, and we have one structure, and when they're gone through that structure, they have enough muscle strength to go out and look for jobs. So to scale, just ensure you have a structure. It is not vibes, and inshallah, as people say, it's actually something structured. They know in the first 4 weeks they are to complete the introduction to machine learning. In the next 4 weeks they are to start computer vision and NLP and all of those things. And at the end of the day, no matter how many people you're managing, you just need to get individual managers for maybe a group of 10, group of 20, do stand-ups, what are the blockers, and you are getting the same results from no matter how many people you are, because you have a structure in place.
Thank you.
Sorry, I know you didn't ask me this, just to add. I think we don't know how deep the hole we all are in. So when we talk about talent, we're quick to talk about scaling talent rather than building talent. So we have 200 million Nigerians, but like they say, not many of them are talented. I mean, we understand now. In sports, we understand talent. That not every footballer is a talented footballer. Why do we then equate technical skills, professional skills, and we call them talent? So this talk about talent is not a scale problem. How many of you have to recruit one person and you do 25, 30 interviews? So I think the job really is the depth of competence, of skill. We're in trouble. So I think that while we think about talent and the need to scale it, I think our biggest need as an industry, as a people, as Nigeria, as the AI industry, is the depth of skill, talent that helps us build significant things is unbelievably lacking. Sorry to say.
Thank you. These are conversations we need to have and how we can scale them. So we're coming to the end of the panel session, right? And this question is for Sharon. What's your best AI tool?
I heard when you asked the last time, I'm incredibly biased. In my everyday life, I would say ChatGPT. We're besties. But for work, I would say Notebook LM.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the end of the session. Thank you, amazing speakers.
Thank you very much for that wonderful panel session. My best AI tool is also ChatGPT, please. Who else loves ChatGPT? I mean,